briefly. The motion that is before the House is the report. A few points was raised by the Honorable Prime Minister. He says that the assurance that the funds are being drawn from the general account, not the preserve account. But in my view, Honorable Speaker, it doesn't makes no difference. It's still the members' fund from FNPF. If the government is committed, then give them government money. Don't tell them to take your own money to help themselves. So that's the problem. And the Honorable Prime Minister was encouraging the culture of saving. Yes, indeed, we agree to that. But the fear from the public is the consistency of the amount that the government does in dipping its hand into that, time and time again. And that will be the point that I want to stress is that the interference of the government into FNPF. I know I'm on record in saying that government is guilty of abusing, molesting, even raping FNPF funds for good reason. For good reason. It's their own fund, it's not government's fund. So what's government doing there? And the reason for that is because the government itself made the amendments in the laws to allow it to appoint members into that so that it can dip its hand into that, to the FNPF funds. So it's like borrowing from itself. And the facts will speak from themselves. Let's just look at it. In 2019, half of Fiji's debt of 5 billion, that is 2.5 billion, is drawn totally from FNPF. Nearly 200 million of the government's deposit, comprising 20% of its nearly 1 billion loan to fund Fiji Airways, government took it from where? FNPF. FNPF's 2018 annual report show that 7 of the 7.4 billion FNPF assets, 2.68 billion, that's about 35% is tied up and held by government in loans. No, that's very serious. No, it's like dipping its head into it's just a basket of egg all the time. Government. That's not. It reflects bad on FNPF board. It should distribute, its investments. But it's allowing the government to take 35% of all its equity held by government. In 2018, Honorable Speaker, 638 million were paid by the contributors to FNPF. And you know how much is taken by government in that year? 588 million. 638, the members put in, same year, government took it out. 588 million. It's bad investment to be allowing a single person, if they should spread out the risks, never mind its government. And that is the fear. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke, Honorable Speaker. It's not a joke. Honorable Member Prasad said it's a cash cow. But I'm saying they are guilty of abuse, of molesting, of raping FNPF funds. Why? Because they changed the government to allow them to dip their hands into that. And it is very, very serious.
Honorable Sir Roderick, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.